Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I'm just drinking water because that's what I do. Hydration is important. Da da da. But if I was drinking anything else, like some tea, perhaps I would be drinking it out of my cup mug. Uh-huh. And you can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagscreations.etsy.com. The link will be in the description below. And yeah, we ship domestically in the US, in Canada, in Mexico for sure. Internationally, we're working on it, but we'll get it there. But get your cup merch, period. I'm trying to get through this because we got too much to talk about and so little time to do it. I'd like to welcome Austin. Hello, Bestie.
Hi, I'm having a marvelous day. I woke up about 45 minutes ago and I'm so excited to be here. Yay.
Work. And of course, unfortunately, under circumstances that we didn't want to have, maybe some of us did, but we have to bring up Pickles and Jack, who have been eliminated and evicted from the Stan Brother house. I'm ready to talk about it. I just got to talk about it. I'm gonna do all the business stuff and say that for the end of the conversation because we really don't have a whole lot of time. But I want to jump into this. Pickles, I got to start with you. I need to come to you first because I have been waiting to talk to you. I know you saw the cast assessment, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this Pickles, man. I don't know if Pickles is gonna give me what Pickles is promising. And you did for a minute. For a minute, I was like, I don't know about Pickles. But it wasn't in the bad way that I thought it was gonna be. I thought because I read you on the cast assessment. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, I don't know, Pickles. I don't know, because you was like, social game don't mean nothing if you ain't got strategy. You don't need to be social if you ain't strategy. I was like, Pickles, that's why you ain't won the game before, because you got to be social and strategic. And I think that's what you did in this game. You were so social and so strategic that I was like, who is this person? This is not the same Pickles who was in the video like, social game don't matter. You don't need social game. You just gotta be strategic. And if you're strategic enough, you'll be fine. And I don't care nothing about the social. What happened to that? You were so social.
Well, hello, Lana. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Absolutely.
I think I actually found a couple people that I liked. So and I actually liked most of the cast. I think Austin, you did a great job with the casting. The only people I didn't have any type of game relationship with was really, well, Xena and Denise, because they went out early before we made any connection. Then further along in the game, Jeremy and Gabe were really the only ones I didn't have a game relationship with. Even Jack, Tanoy, Jordan, it didn't make it into the edit, but we had game conversations. So I really wasn't just gonna stick by myself. Sometimes I do play as lone wolf, which is a really difficult strategy in Big Brother, but it's really fun to play. And honestly, I don't care. I just joined to have fun. And express myself and express a character that I don't get to portray in my real life a lot. So it's, yeah.
It was fun to watch because, like I said, I was waiting for just strategic Pickles who go win comp after comp after comp. And you won comps when you needed to win comps, and people were picking you to play veto because they knew you could win comps. And I was like, that's what I'm waiting for. And you gave me some of that, but you were more social than I thought. And so I had to humble myself and bite back a few of my words that I gave you during the cast assessment. I was like, All right, Pickles. I see you playing, but different than I expected.
Yeah, maybe that's part of my strategy too, to set low expectations so then I can blow you out of the water.
I mean, that's the strategy, and it worked because I was like, okay, work. Period. We love to see it. So when you got into the game and you found yourself in a situation where people were giving you immunities and was trusting you with, like, you had final twos with Rachel and Casey was there, like Pickles is the person who I want to talk, work with. How did your strategy change, or was that always your plan going into the game?
I think one of my downfalls in this game, and one of the reasons I didn't really make it far, is because the people that I had the best social relationships with were on the bottom. So in that sense, I was kind of flopping, because most of my closest allies, like people that really were counting on me, was Casey, Kenzel, and Rachel, and two of them went out pre-jury. And I think the reason for that was just I didn't really gel with the cast that well. Like the Lucky Sevens, for example, they were kind of the most obnoxious people, and they were the ones that ended up having the most successful alliance. So they had a great strategy, but because I didn't gel with those people, I didn't really fit into that strategy. And I work the best even if I'm by myself, when I can really read the social dynamics, and maneuver my way through it. But with such a big successful alliance, which I'm not used to in fast games, because I really do play games where people don't pregame for the most part. Like they'll go in with some social connections, but this game has intentional pre-gaming, which does change it. And I kind of was just gonna be set on my way of playing, which is like to just figure things out in real time. I'm a mathematician. I'm also a student, like in my real life, so I'm do solve problems under pressure, and that's my greatest skill set. So it didn't really work out in this one, and that's okay. Yeah.
I mean, did you think when you got Renom by Jeremy going off like you did was that did you was that something you wanted to do, or were you just like, you know what, I don't really care. I'm say my piece and let it be what it be, because it felt like you were just like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this conversation. I'm sick of this back and forth. And you lied to me. You said you wouldn't nominate me. You said that you wanted to work with me. And then all of a sudden now I'm the renom because Jack took himself off the block.
Yes. Well, first of all, my phone is at 1. I didn't know how fast this was going to drain my battery. So if I cut out at any random moment, that is why. But well, first of all, I knew I was the back door. I didn't have a confessional saying that, but I knew I was the back door because June told me, and Pranav told me, that I was always going to be the back door. That's why I asked to be nominated, because I knew I was the target. Jeremy was the only person like really gonna gun for Pickles as their number one target, so it was pretty unfortunate. So I knew that. So I asked to play the veto. I couldn't win the veto. I just want to put it out there that I threw every single competition. I did not win. I won the HOH and POV that I wanted to win. I couldn't play an HOH, and then I could have won that POV potentially, but the way that it got set up, I was like going to be eliminated regardless, so I had to pick Jack. And I think my fault was I misread things a little bit, and I was pretty sure that no matter what, I would have Jack and Jordan's vote. I didn't think I would have Tanoy, so I thought it was going to be 4-2 with Tanoy and June maybe being the votes against me, but I really thought I had the other 4. So Jack and Jordan both surprised me by not voting, and Tanoy also surprised me by voting for me to stay. I thought after our quarrel in the previous episode that she would want me eliminated.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you, because I really just want to. I'm gonna give you your final thoughts because I don't want your phone to die on you. So you give me your final thoughts on how you wish the game went, and your elimination and all of that.
I'm really grateful that I was cast for this game and that I had the opportunity to play, and I had a really fun time. And I thought the casting was really great. It was phenomenal players who also cared about the entertainment value, which is something that it makes the whole experience a lot more fun. Jack, I'm sorry my phone is about to die, but I don't have any ill will towards any members of the cast, and I think you're all great, except for Jeremy.
Well, Pickles, you were amazing. I will just say I enjoyed watching you more than I thought I would. So I'm so glad that you humbled me and made me eat my words. You were great and you were fantastic. And I enjoyed watching you. And I hope to watch you again soon.
Thank you, Lana. I hope to see you again soon. And thank you so much, Austin, for your great production value and
Oh,
everything.
dear. Love you, Pickles. Thank you.
Bye, Pickles. Ah, Jack. Jack. I have so many questions for you because I think my heart went out to you the most in this moment. Like I was watching this and I was like, oh no, not Jack getting blamed for something that Jack honestly had nothing to do with. And I was like, wait, Jack is innocent. He's so innocent in this whole situation. Like you were literally the definition of collateral damage in this situation.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I hated watching it. It was oh I hope so. We'll see. Because we will see because man, you literally stood by Jeremy. You voted, you didn't vote for Jeremy. You were like, Jeremy is my is my guy. This is somebody who I want to work with. This is somebody who I am down for. We got this lucky 7. I'm true to this. I'm good. I'm good. And Jeremy was like, I think you did it. I think you did it. And nothing you could say could convince him that you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Tell me what was going on in your mind at that point.
I was like, in the moment, I was just like so shocked. I was like, is this like are we playing me right now? Is this like part, like I went to my DMs, I'm like, so like what's going on? Like, is this real? Like, you really think I voted you out? Like, because I was just like, there's no way, because there might have been a DR included of mine about this, how during the round where Jeremy was nominated, he came to me and told me how like Pranav was like spewing all this shit about me, like pinning Chinoy against me and stuff like that. So it was like, oh, Jeremy's the first person to tell me about this. I need him in the game because clearly he's starting to wake up to the Pranav of it all. And then to have him stay in the 4-3 and then turn around and think that I blindsided him, mainly because of what Pranav was putting out about this me, Jordan, Andrew alliance that didn't exist until that round, obviously. Then we started chatting, like, well, let's make it real. But yeah, I was just like so insanely shocked and had no idea what was going on because I didn't suspect any of the professional liars either for a while.
Right.
Initially.
It was so weird. I was like, wow, this was so like Austin, I'm gonna give it to you. This was so good television because I was like, I felt every emotion in it. I felt the shock and awe of you, like Jack. Like, wait, what? Am I being played right now? Like, are you serious? And then Austin, you when he was like, "Where's my red nose? Poop. Where's my
I like that.
my rainbow hair? Dude, where's my clown?" I was like,
that was good.
so good. So good. It was so good.
I love that this episode in general, because the whole thing is about who lied and like who like flipped on the alliance. But in both weeks, like none of the liars go home, and I think that's so funny.
It's hilarious.
That was so much. Jack, your microphone is doing some weird stuff.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me good now? Or?
You're a little muffled.
A little muffled. But
working through it. No, we can't hear you now.
I want to make sure everybody can hear everything you have to say.
Testing.
Try again.
Testing.
No.
I'm a little muffled still.
Oh, let's try this.
There we go.
There we go. Okay.
There we
Got
go. Yeah. I just want to make sure everybody can hear everything you had to say because it's important to hear this.
It is. It's very important.
I want you to get your story out because, baby,
Yeah.
you were break through the coals for no reason.
I really was. It was just so like I couldn't even. And then like I win the veto, and then Pickles leaves, and then it's the next round, and Chinoy wins HOH. And I mean, like that was the correct move for her because at that point it was like, okay, the alliance broke up, and I was like kind of left in the middle, but had like none of the benefits of like what typically happens with that, where you can kind of like go back to back because like each side thought I was on the other. So at that point, though, with Jeremy's HOH, I like pushed myself to the June, Andrew, Jordan side of things. And then Tanoy wins HOH. Like, obviously, she has these seeds planted against me. Like, she's not that this isn't workable. But I was shocked that it was 3-2 against June. I remember being like, oh, okay, that was close.
That was very close. But when Tanoy did nominate you, because we saw Pranav was planting the seeds. Now, did you actually say you were going after Tanoy at any point?
Here's what I'll say. And it was very much not a serious, like, oh, we need to get her type thing. It was sometime in the pregame. I believe she thought it was like days before. I thought it was like the day of the game, but either way, I said something. Me and Pranav were like running through like who we felt good about, and it was everybody in like the Lucky Seven Alliance. And I was like, Chinoy, like, I feel like she's going to be a really strong asset for us. Like, she seems really good socially, and like, she doesn't really know that many people. Like, she's going to be a good one to keep close. And then I think I said something like, it was very quick in passing, like, but I wouldn't want to sit next to her in the final too, because she's going to be a social threat down the road because we all love her.
Absolutely.
And obviously, like, should I have said that maybe that early? Maybe not. Did I think Pranav was going to run to this girl that he just met over somebody he's known for a long time? Not really either. But also that benefits him. Like, if she's going to be a threat down the line, don't you want to kind of keep that out for you? But I definitely get like weaponizing that against me. But like in the pregame, I was like, okay, Pranav, that's a little early to throw me out there like that. But at that point, yes, Chinoy definitely should have targeted me because I was putting her on the block if I won. So,
so your relationship with Jeremy, y'all were very like you were riding with him, and y'all were riding together. So we all thought, but I do think the Tanoy factor of it all got into the way of things because, as he said several times, Tanoy is his number one. And so at that point, Tanoy is like, we gotta get Jack out of here because he coming for me, and if he coming for me, that means he coming for us.
Yeah,
and if he coming for us, we gotta.
Yeah, and her read was completely correct, and I think that she's definitely a factor that I like underestimated a little bit. Like I knew in the pregame, I'm like, oh, she's going to be so good socially, like all this. I'm like, she's going to be fine, but like her competitively, I did not expect her to like blow some of these comps out of the water. Like beating people who have done this like religiously for like 5-10 years. I'm like, oh wow, she's like really, she's good. So I didn't expect that part, and I knew she was strategic, but I didn't realize that she was really like kind of forming all of these like other groups to where she was like the center, but like had like a core of people who were covered by like other people too, like a little Venn diagram almost, and she was right in the center. I really underestimated that about her.
Okay, Austin, I do need to ask you because in the moment while you're sitting there and all of this conversation is going on about this Jeremy vote, and this conversation goes on, and this conversation goes on and on and on. And when do you step in and be like, okay, seriously, enough is enough? Like, I'm done.
Honestly, I feel like the worst is still yet to come. I feel like they just keep talking until the very end. Like they don't shut up. Honestly, it was actually terrible.
Oh my god!
There's some people that I don't even know if it was in these 2 weeks, but there's some people in like later weeks where they take like 20 minutes plus to make a decision, and I'm like, can you guys please shut up? Like, and they just wouldn't stop, like, because they just wouldn't listen to me. They would like go off camera and start FaceTiming each other off of the screen, like blah, blah, blah. Like they were just doing too damn much. So yeah, I really tried to wrangle them in, but they were not having it. There was just a lot of inner workings going on. Everyone felt like at this point with the Lucky Sevens too, everyone feels so aligned with everyone else, just because
Mhm.
there's been such loyalty throughout the game up until this point. So everyone kind of feels like they have each other more than the other person, et cetera, et cetera. So there's just like a lot. And I feel like this episode is where the Jeremy vote should stop being a discussion point. But I do feel like they still keep bringing it up in the coming weeks.
Okay.
I'm
So-
interested to watch that.
Oh God. Me as a viewer watching that, I was like, are we kidding? Can we please move on? Like, stop. Like, it's enough is enough. We went 2 weeks and they were still talking about it. I was like, yo, like, all right. He didn't go nowhere. He's still here. Let's move on. Like, Jack, you were saying that, like, we're beating a dead horse here. Can we
Yeah.
just move on? And I know June, Jordan, and Andrew really wanted this conversation to end like now, because they were like, the more we talk about it, the more somebody can unearth some things that it can show that I am actually lying. So it was for me, I'm not going to speak for everybody else. This episode was the longest feeling episode. Like the other episodes, I was like, oh, we done? Oh, that was fun. That was quick. This one felt like it dragged because they kept dragging the same point on. And it had nothing to do with the editing. It was all about the conversation. Because by minute 10, I was sick of hearing about Jeremy and this vote. I was like, Jeremy, just put your nomination up and go on. Like, shut up.
I think I said this on the last podcast, like teasing this episode, but it really is like this episode to me isn't even like really Big Brother. It's like more so like watching people play like The Mole or Mafia. Like it's just a very different energy. Because like Big Brother is like usually pretty quick pace. Like, you know, you have your targets, you try to strategize to get them out. But this was like more so like a game of like Guess Who or something, like where you're just like constantly discussing talking points on who did what. So it definitely had like a different energy that kind of dragged.
Yeah.
And it felt very long in the moment as well.
I can imagine.
It was like, oh my God. Like it felt like the entire game up to that point was just as long as those like 1 to 2 rounds were. It's like we evicted like however many people, 6 people in the same amount of time as those 2.
Yeah, because before the Jeremy vote, everyone on the cast was like, oh my God, this is like, we're moving so fast. Like this is like, we're going to be finished on time because the goal was to finish at like 1 a.m. But then as soon as the Jeremy vote happened, every single round took so much longer, even though there was way less people. So it really didn't make any sense because usually like the rounds where there's less people move quicker. But in this season, it was like very polar opposite. It was like the closer we got to the finale, the longer the weeks felt. And it was just because there was like so much like, I don't know, lying. Like there was a lot to unpack. So it took a really long time.
It was long, and I was like, I am over this conversation. I could not be in that moment. I'd be like, look, y'all, we need to wrap this up. I'm tired and I'm sick of it. Look, vote me out. Let me go. I'll leave. Trust me, I'm fine with leave. Because it just felt like they would not let it go. And I was like, oh God.
Yeah,
oh no. And now you're saying it's gonna continue.
Yeah, there was just a lot of like overly defensive people as well during this. Like Jordan constantly felt like he had to defend himself over and over again. Andrew did the same thing and just wouldn't stop defending himself. And it's like, you guys really only needed to defend yourself once, so just keep it pushing.
Yeah. But like after every comp win, it was like, okay, and so about that, like, let me just say this again.
Please.
And I feel like Jordan definitely tried to lead the conversation a little more when he had the veto, because he knew like nothing was going to happen in that round. So he was able to kind of like, you know, utilize that, which I like don't remember him doing, but like watching it back, he was like, so Jeremy, like, who said that thing to you, by the way, like going back to that.
Right. So I was like, oh God, no. But so Jack, when you first of all, congratulations on winning that veto and taking yourself off the block so they can be like, yes, work. Now you got to continue to work to get me out. And then they actually did continue.
And then they did. Yeah.
They did. Yeah. which still unfortunate because honestly, I didn't think you deserved to go at this point. And not saying that I
I
wanted
agree.
any of the people who lied to go. I just felt like I just didn't think you should have gone in that
Mhm.
moment. But
I mean, I totally agree with you about that.
absolutely. But tell me about that round where you just when you didn't win that veto and Jordan won the veto, did you like know like was it that moment you're like, okay, I'm
Well,
going
so
home because I'm
yeah,
up against June?
once June got put up, I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be rough." But I was working in my DMs. My relationship with Rachel wasn't really shown explicitly, but me and her were, like, pretty tight. I
Mhm,
know she had more tight relationships with, like, Jeremy and Pranav, obviously, but me and Rachel, like, just played, like, another game, like, a few weeks before this, and we were, like, number ones. So I was really working with her, and she's like, don't even campaign to me, like, I'm voting to keep you, like, I don't care if it's good for whoever's game, like, it's good for mine, and clearly I'm playing by myself now, so I'm gonna keep you. So then I immediately went to Andrew and Jordan, because they were both off the block at that point, and I was like, "Listen, like, I know June, like, I know it's, like, us, right? And I know June's great, I know she's super social, but, like, June's proven to be a competitor too, but I have 3 comp wins under my belt, like, clearly they're gonna keep coming after me, like, all these lies have been told about me. I don't care about the vote. I'm not talking about the vote. Keep me as an asset to you. Andrew, I'm gonna be ahead of you in the target pecking order, clearly
mhm,
for somebody like Chenoy, right? And Andrew, you keep going on the block." And I think that's how I got his vote.
mhm,
I was begging Jordan, like, individually. I'm like, "Please, like, I'll do anything, like, I'll take you to final 2," like, saying literally anything I could to Jordan. And he kept, like, coming back with these questions, like, "But are you really, like, loyal to Rachel?" Like, blah, blah, blah. So I was fighting, and I think Jordan may have contemplated for, like, a split second, but I think ultimately he wanted to keep the people he knew he had already, like, worked with on
mhm.
a failed blind side earlier around, because he just had their scopes of the game a lot more down, and which I completely understand. But I was trying. I knew it was going to be an uphill battle, and I considered it a win that I even got that extra Andrew vote at the end of
Mhm.
the day.
Oh, you worked. You
Yeah,
actually worked. I was like, okay, work, Jordan, Jack,
yeah. The
because
fingers were going. I was like,
I
we got type anything, please.
I that's another reason I could not play this game, Austin, because I do not like DMing people during the game. My brain don't work that fast, so I'll be like, I miss messages. I'm like, oh Lord, who
Oh, that
said?
was yeah.
Yeah, I hate
And
that.
towards the beginning of the game, like, I can't even, like, keep up with it, and I think that these other people are, like, so much better at that than I
Mhm,
am, to where they were, like, FaceTiming each other on the side, they're texting, they're DMing, like, they're all these different platforms and apps are open on their phone. I just don't have the stamina for that, like, and then I have to
mhm,
be on camera too and in breakout rooms, like, in the Zoom people were typing in the Zoom chat too, there was just so much, and I tried to,
much.
like, focus on, like, these little areas, but it's just like, these people have that skill to do that a lot quicker.
And I don't have an iPhone, so I couldn't even FaceTime with people. I'll
Mm.
be like, nothing. Yeah,
Give me a
so
phone
that's
call.
I'll be like, could you call me? Or something. So, but no, yeah, I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all are great for doing it because I could never. But you, I was so sad. I'm just gonna say this. I was so sad. Not that, not that, Andrew. I mean, facts. I would.
Unbothered King.
I before I thought that said "Do not disturb." I thought it said Dungeons and Dragons, and I was
Me
like,
too. Me too. I did too. I read it as Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, not you playing Dungeons. Oh no, do not disturb. Got it. I was I could never. I'd be sitting there reading and doing other stuff and listening to messages, but y'all did it. Y'all ate it up. Y'all did great. But I was very sad, Jack. I was very
Thank
sad to see
you.
you go because I did not think you deserved it, and you were the clearest definition of collateral damage. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it
agree with that. It was a really wild turn of events. I was like, wow, this is like a crazy way for
right.
this game to be unfolding. Like, what is happening?
What is happening? Like,
Yeah,
wow. But you played this game so well. I will say you're refreshing to watch. You didn't
thank
cause
you.
too much drama. throughout the game, and then you won when you needed to win, and then when you didn't, and they could finally do what they needed to do, they got you out because you were a
Yeah.
threat. You were a competition threat.
Yeah, I can lock in like at certain times where I'm like, all right, we gotta step it up with the comps. This whole little luck veto thing can't really lock in too much for the roll of the dice that we had to do, but that came at such a good drama time, for us to just be like, let's do like a random comp to see like what happens during all this drama. Like it was obviously pre-planned, but like the way that it happened was like, of course this would happen during like the peak of all this going on.
Right.
But yeah, I may not have been the most entertaining personality, but I wanted to be authentic, and I can't sit in my home and scream on camera unless I have a reason to do so. And the only time I got a little argumentative was when I was being framed, which I
Right.
thought that was valid.
It was valid. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You should have would have screamed at everybody. Like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me? That's
Like
the
what
only
is going
time
on?
I screamed. Right. Like, no. Um I'm gonna give you your final thought because I wanna wrap it up, but I also have to bring up draft updates as well. But final thoughts on the game, final thoughts on your elimination, all of that.
Yeah, my final thoughts are it was fun. Obviously, I was so happy to play a Stan Brother version where I got to record diary rooms. That was my favorite part. That was the draw for me. I said, I wanna see what I can pull out here. So it was super fun. It was definitely a tragic set of circumstances that led to my demise. Pre-game paranoia mixed with failed blindsides and not really being prioritized by anybody. But I mean, can I say that my reads were off? I mean, Miss Tanoy, who I clocked a little bit. Has she been targeted yet?
Mm,
I don't think so.
mm,
So, I mean, we'll see how that goes. Maybe people will wake up. But I have no bad blood with anybody. I think everybody's super great. I think everybody left in the game too is like, who is there to root against? Like nobody really. Like, okay, maybe Pranav, but he's a good villain, right? Like he's
mhm.
bringing that villain energy that's kind of necessary and needed. So I feel like everybody left is not only good to root for, but like pretty deserving. Everybody has these strong suits. Like we have the professional liar trio, Pranav doing the most, Chinoy being on the low and strategic, Jeremy being Jeremy and having a PhD and handsome, and then Miss Underdog Rachel, who I was rooting for when I left, and I gave her every little piece of tea I had over anybody else. So we'll see in the future if that comes up, if she does anything with that. But I told her my entire slightly accurate, slightly inaccurate read of the house map at that point. So
Mhm.
we'll see what she does. But overall, it was super fun, and I was so happy that Austin had me again and got to let me play for a third and probably final time.
We'll see.
I
Never
mean,
say
unless
never.
unless he wants me back, then me and my agents will be in touch
Right.
with the Ashburn network. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me do a quick draft update.
oh yeah.
We
Oh,
definitely.
this will be funny, I think.
That was so funny because unless Rachel wins this whole thing, Logan does not stand a chance against my team. I will say. Logan only has Rachel left, and that is
Oh,
it.
so you're
Everybody,
dominating.
oh yeah, I'm killing this
Yeah.
draft. So unless Rachel comes back and pulls this whole thing off and is the winner of this game, I am killing because I still have June and Jordan, Andrew and Tanoy, and Jeremy and Pranav all on my team.
That's
So I
crazy.
don't know who wins. I know you all know, but I'm just saying if Rachel wins, I'm not that I'm gonna be mad because I really like Rachel. I enjoy Rachel, but for my draft sake, I'm gonna be like, girl, really?
She's a double underdog now. She's the last person outside of the majority alliance, the last person on Logan's team. Like,
Yeah. She has a lot to live up to.
yeah.
Whole lot to live up to. Austin, let me Austin, let me give you
Uh,
the floor to your last thoughts. He can't stand up. I'm beating him down. I'm tearing him up. Yes, ma'am. I'm tearing him up.
Yeah, super fun episode to like look back at and edit just because there was so much going on. Yeah, next episode it very much is like a 3 versus 3 with Rachel in the middle. So it really all depends on who wins these competitions. I will tease that the next week after Jack's eviction is Luck Week. So you don't need any competition skills to win these comps. It's fully based on luck. So that will shake things up, I think, on who is able to win competitions.
Interesting. I mean, you've been giving them some pretty interesting comp, like the die comp that was really luck based, and even like the whole higher lower ones. I'm like, you just gotta get yes right. You don't really have to know. I don't know, but I love those. I love those challenges because even people like me,
Same.
who has no skills
You're
in these
equitable.
can win these things. So I'm like, give me a fighting chance. So I appreciate that. I think that's it, y'all, because I really don't know what else to ask because Jack, I'm still just very devastated that you're here. I really
Yeah.
am
So
not.
am
I'm not happy that you're here. You weren't even on my draft team, but I was like, I don't like the way this played out. I just
I know.
really like
So
it.
sick.
It was sick.
So
It was sick.
sick.
It was sick and twisted, but you were amazing to watch. I enjoyed
Thank
watching.
you. Thank
And
you.
Who's your winner pick now, Lana?
Oh, because see, my winner pick has been June this whole point. I've been like,
Mhm.
June is really doing what needs to be done. But I don't know. June might be finding herself in a little bit of hot water right now. And oh, you know what? I'm going to switch for the first time since we started. As much, I still think June is going to make it far. I still think June has the skills to slither and navigate and get herself out of trouble, which she has. But since she was on the block and found herself in trouble, now eyes are on her. And sometimes once eyes get on you, people don't let off.
Mm.
So that's kind of a bothersome. So I'm kind of going to go with, I think Jeremy.
Mm.
I think Jeremy might have insulated himself so well with people, even though people are mad at Jeremy, he got a good group of people who ready to ride with him, which is crazy.
Mhm.
So as of right now, I'm gonna go with Jeremy. It might switch back to June next week, but this week I'm gonna go with Jeremy. And we'll see what happens because I've been waiting for one person to show up on this podcast for weeks now, and they have been slithering and snaking their way through this game. Andrew, I'm looking at you. I thought you were gonna be here last week. I was like, I'm not gonna be there, but you are good, sir. You are good. I don't know what
4
you're doing.
times nominated in a row.
Right.
That is
I'm
a
like,
crazy stat.
every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, he coming. Oh, yeah, I'll see him next week. Oh, nope, no, we not. No, we not. This week, I was like, oh, Andrew, it's his time. It's his time. Nope.
Oh, he's an escape
Andrew,
artist.
he is an escape artist. I'm impressed. I am very impressed. And I ain't gonna even, so you coming next week. I'm just gonna let it ride. Look, the moment I say you're not coming, then you go be here. But I'm not even gonna say it. So you do you. You're doing amazing. This cast is amazing. Y'all did great. I am enjoying watching this. I didn't know if I would, Austin. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, am I? Yeah, I see you, Andrew. I did. I thought it was gonna be you, and I'm like, you can keep laughing, keep laughing. I thought it was. Trust and believe. I am sat. I will be watching. Oh, probably, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, I appreciate you all for tuning in. Everybody for tuning in and sending comments. Continue to send comments. We love that. Jack, I appreciate you being here. Austin,
Thank you for
always.
having me.
Absolutely, Austin. Thank you for allowing us to do this. We're having a blast doing Stand Brother this season, so I cannot wait to see what is next. And if we go hear more about this Jeremy vote, I might have to rip something in half because I'm
Say a
tired of it
prayer.
myself. I'm just
Hopefully
screaming.
not. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. I'm
Yeah.
praying that we move on and we can continue to play the game. But y'all do all the things. I forgot to do. Well, I didn't forget. I chose to move all the business stuff to the end of this podcast. But we have 4 channels that you can follow. Follow us here at the Cup TV. Hit the subscribe button here. Go to our main channel at the Cup Pod, where we talk all things drag, drag race, drag anything. So go follow us over there at the Cup Pod. Go follow us at the Cup ESC. If you are a fan of Eurovision, go join that channel and join us at the Cup Ringside. If you are a fan of wrestling, we cover all of that as well. You can follow us on our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So we can put that's where we put all our funny moments. So go follow us. I didn't put the banners up, but we'll have all the information in the description below. Follow Austin, follow Jack. We'll have all their socials on the and follow Pickles. We'll have all the socials on the description below as well. You can follow me if you wanna get your cup merch at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. That link will also be in the description in the description below. And I'm trying to stall because I got to get stuff ready to close out. But yeah, here we go. So we're going to see y'all next time. We'll be back next week. Same people, same panel, well, not Jack, because you can't get evicted twice. So, but, me and Austin will be back. And maybe Logan will show up. And yeah, we'll be here. So join us next week to talk more Stan Brother. Oh, join us Tuesday to talk Stan Brother. And then join us Saturday to talk Stan Brother. So there we go. Period, y'all. Cheers. Cheers.
Bye.
We are out.